I always say that I'm a little bit tax lawyer and a little bit family therapist. I didn't start as a trust and estates attorney. I have, in a sense, gone full circle in my career. I started my legal career as a corporate attorney for a big white shoe firm. And before that, I did international economic development work. I spent a couple of years in the former Soviet Union, right as the Soviet Union fell, and the interest was in trying to facilitate development towards a market economy. So I was one of those folks who went right after the fall of the Soviet Union to work on privatization and other issues. When I got to college, I said I have to study either Russian or Chinese, and I flipped a coin and it came out Russian, which was wound up being a great thing for me and a great decision. And I had the opportunity to go to the Soviet Union in 1989 when it was still in the last throes of the Soviet Union during the Gorbachev era. It was such a fascinating experience. Being an American in St. Petersburg in 1989, in the days when things were a little bit more open, but not so open, and people there had never really had the opportunity to meet an American, and being able to exchange experiences and ideas to me was just thrilling. I thought it had to be living overseas and working in foreign cultures, but what I realized I really enjoyed was being able to put myself in somebody else, learn about somebody else, put myself in their shoes, be able to have two people from two different cultures who are talking past each other, being the bridge. As a trust and estates attorney, what you're very often doing is mediating between different family members and helping families think through issues and hear each other and work things through. We try to encourage parents to think about treating their kids equally. Again, there may be a temptation to give one child more. Maybe that child is struggling. Maybe there's a child who's in the family business. There may be very good reasons to treat children not equally, but we always advise that if you do that, it's a good idea to talk to both children, because it really can lead to resentment. There's absolutely no question that my immediate family, my parents and my brother, are the biggest influences on who I am as a person, as is probably the case with most people. My mother is a therapist, and as I'd mentioned to you, anytime anybody in our circle has an issue, if it's an issue with family dynamics or schools or health, everyone calls my mother. All of her friends, everyone calls my mother. And if it's an issue about anything else, everyone calls my father, because they always have the answers. They always have good counsel, and they're kind people. You always hear that the parents lament as they have no one to turn the business over to, because the kids are not interested in their 20s. Then come the 30s, and the kids have been out in the real world, and they've had other jobs, and they say, maybe it wouldn't be so bad to join this family business. And it seems to be a pattern. Everyone comes back in their 30s to join their family business. It was very funny having my father as a boss, but it gave me an opportunity to learn a lot more about my father, who I thought I knew everything about. My father is a very modest guy. He's really does not toot his own horn at all. And I knew my father had great judgment and was just a very nice, kind, compassionate person, and I knew he was smart. I had no idea just how smart he was until I started working with him and saw him analyze problems and come up with solutions, and not only smart, but just creative. The thing that I would want my son to carry forward is I hope, and I will do my best to make sure that he is an ethical, kind, principled person, and also someone who stands up for himself. And I hope that, I hope I can instill that in him.